What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's good, bro?
You alright? You awake, man? You over here all super quiet? Let's go, bro. Get some energy in your step, man. I would tell you go to Starbucks, but I don't think it's open right now.
Yeah.
All right, unless they're doing deliveries too. That would be epic.
This is early recording for me. My whole sleep schedule's messed up. One, it's been messed up, but two, I think it was
I like how the precursor is. One, it's been messed up.
Yeah, but it's got even worse because two, I think, wait, it's all messed up in my head right now. I think it was 2 nights ago. They had the OJ thing on ESPN.
Made in America, yeah.
Yeah, and I haven't seen it, and I started watching the first part. I had it on in the background, and then I really started watching the second part, and then they stopped after the second part, and they were like, we're going to release part 3 and 4 the next day. And I couldn't wait. So I have ESPN Plus. So
that's what they say. Yeah, if you got the app, man, or you pay a little extra, you straight.
So that's part 3, 4, and 5. I watched in addition to part 1 and 2. So I didn't go to sleep that night until like 5 or 6. So that was just last night. So I'm on a. Not last night, but
I was gonna say, I like how you said it like this was like some other
last night I went to bed at like 2 a.m. But I had to really try because I could have probably stayed up till 5 or 6. I'm on that bad cycle right now.
So you typically go to sleep at 4 or 5 in the morning and wake up at what time?
No.
The wild phone going.
Typically
podcast.
Typically probably like 1 or 2. But yeah, I couldn't stop watching the documentary, dude. It was unreal.
I mean, it was a good documentary.
Did you watch all that?
I have seen it.
Holy crap.
It's dope. I ain't want to go OJ today. I didn't know that's what you were.
No, I'm not. No, I'm just saying that's why I might be a little off or look tired or whatever. But you know what I will say, and I've said this to you off the mic, and I've said this to multiple people. Anyone that knows me knows this about me, is that I can't stand like Forensic Files or like murder mysteries or like Law and Order. I don't.
But you was watching OJ.
I don't want any of that.
You was
stuff.
watching OJ Made in America. Isn't that's exactly those type of documentaries though?
It's masked in sports though. That's kind of what I realized. I think you can almost throw anything out there, and if I say I don't like this genre, if it's masked in sports, I will.
You're into it.
Yeah. Well, hold on. Think of it. Just as sports fans, there's probably a lot of them that really dislike celebrity gossip and like, oh, who's dating who? He said about this.
People
person.
say that, but I don't really believe it.
Well, here's the thing. Because in sports, just think of like last offseason. Oh, what did AB say?
Yeah. But the reason why I say I don't believe it is because the same people that say I can't stand celebrity gossip and all this stuff be the main people on social media, following all these blog sites, following all these celebrities, and as soon as they post a picture, it doesn't even have to say anything. Just could be a picture. They automatically jump to conclusions and start their own gossip. So for me, I'm like, people say, oh, I don't like drama, but we all know people love drama
across the board.
Yeah. I'm like people like to lie to themselves though.
If it's in sports, it's acceptable though.
Whatever you need to do to make you feel comfortable, man.
Yeah, but it was incredible, Doc. But I can't believe I just said Doc. I hate when people say Doc or Pod instead of the full thing.
You just going all down this line. What else you don't like, man?
Nah, I'm good, man. If we want to get into this, I'm ready. I'm sorry.
Man. I like when you get this off your chest, man. It's good. You know, it's healthy.
I guess.
And they say during this time frame that you do have to be careful because of mental health issues. Sometimes, like, no. It's seriously. They say like when you're quarantined or you're stuck inside, a lot of times, like they say if you're not having an outlet, that can hurt you, you know, from a mental health standpoint. If you're not going through a routine, getting up, making your bed, putting on clothes, or doing something on a checklist daily, they say that all that stuff can have a negative effect on your mental health. So it's important that you use this opportunity to vent, to communicate. And it's important that I, as a friend, do my job of being an open ear for you. That's what you're supposed to do. You have to communicate, man.
Okay.
And they say that you should watch series and stuff like that, man. Catch up on series,
really?
Like catch up on like TV shows, series that you haven't seen. The OJ Made in America is a docu-series.
It's unreal.
So the fact you were able to catch up on that's healthy for you. That's good, man. It keeps your body and your mind where it needs to be, man. They also say exercise.
I'm such a hypocrite too and a fraud because a bunch of my friends, they stay up to date on series. They watch like new TV shows. Like, yo, did you see this new thing on Netflix?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, give me a break. Like, just stop doing that. But then at the same time, if I catch something, I mean, I'm a victim as well.
Why you gotta be a victim? You can't just enjoy it?
Nah, I did. Trust me, I did.
It's not a negative thing, man.
No, it's not. I'm not.
It's like, man, I can't watch no series. That's man code, bro. What I look like watching series?
Dude, come on. It's sports. It's educational. That's fine.
Just TV in general.
Some of these new shows, man, they're really just tossing anything out there.
But the reason why they have so many is so that way you could, I mean, because nothing is going to be perfect to everybody. So things that I might like, you might not like. Things that you might like, I might not like. But they give you so many options so that way you have a chance to unwind and escape your reality or educate yourself on something a little bit more, you know, through a TV show versus having to read a book on it.
Yeah, it's too much, man. They're just throwing so much out there. You got South Park. That's really all you need these days.
Holy cow.
South Park, and then any of these new 30 for 30s or sports docs. That's about it. That's it, man. That's all. That's 30 me.
30s in South Park.
That's about it. In terms of TV shows, yeah, South Park.
Man, I just feel like you're shortchanging yourself. There's so much more you could be learning through television.
I've watched a lot of TV shows and series throughout my life.
Wait, not just TV shows and series. I'm saying like educational television stuff, man.
Like what?
I mean, when you talk about just the OJ 30 for 30, right? They educate you on that case.
Yeah.
But there are other like historical cases that have happened in America that have either restructured the way that we view law, restructured the way that some of the police procedures are implemented and stuff like that. So for me, man, I love to watch that type of stuff just so I can get educated on, oh, well, why is this law this now? Or why is this rule that? Why is this such an important thing right here? And it all falls back to some of these like big historic cases like that.
Well, bro, getting into the OJ thing, I guess, like,
you can't help yourself.
No. I'm not trying to get into it, but dude, that is the craziest thing about it. It was so much more than just sports. I mean, the first part of it is like, here's OJ's life and stuff. But after that,
like probably 15 minutes of the Made in America series is sports. Other than that, man, it's the
OJ's
case.
life. Yeah,
it's like what built up to it.
Culture,
okay, what happened. Like you said, because he was an icon at the time, man. So how everything was swayed and all that type of stuff, man. The other events that were going on around him. So that's kind of when you watch some of these shows, it's like, man, like this is cool in the way they do it versus like if you were just having to read a book, it might not hit the same way. And I think that's why, like with the television show, especially right now, why people are promoting it is just because not only are you getting a chance to be educated, but you're also visually stimulating yourself too.
What are you watching? That Tiger King or something? Is that?
Nah, I haven't watched that yet, man. Honestly, man, I watch all type of stuff, man. Play heavy games, you know, stay on the video games, but at the same time, man, we'll watch old school TV shows like The Shield or The Sopranos with my wife, and then from there, man, I might turn around and watch Snapped or Killer Couples or something where America's most gangster or America's most evil people. And they talk about like, okay, the different like originators of the different Bloods and Crip gangs. And then you hear about the different mafiosos. And then you hear about the MS-13s or Griselda Blanco and stuff like that. Like just so you can get educated on, oh, whoa, why was that? Well, what made this person take that route? And that's for me, man. I like to just educate myself on all of those different avenues.
That's good.
And I watch CNN, man. And you know, me and my wife, we go back and forth about CNN and Fox News. It's always a fun time in the house, man. I'm about to say, and I get my reading, you know, USA Today and different news outlets, man. I get my reading and stuff like that. Educate myself even more on the stock market and the patterns and stuff like that, man. So
there's a lot going on right now.
Taking full advantage of this free time, I'll tell you that.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, nothing lasts. So this free time, this whatever you want to call it, this lockdown, this. Like I said, I don't know what you want to call this whole thing, but it's not going to last. So I guess you got to make the most of it.
Well, and I laugh too because the same people that are complaining so much about being locked in the house and being bored were the same people a month ago complaining, man, I wish I just had nothing to do. I wish I could just sit in the house.
I wish I didn't have to go to work.
I don't want to go to work today. Can I just sleep all day? And now that you're getting it, now it's, man, I hate sitting in the house all day, man. I can't wait to go somewhere. Man, can I please just go to work? Like, which one is it? And then as soon as the quarantine ends, everybody's back to work. You know what they're going to be complaining again? Man, I wish I could go back to being in the house again, man. That was the best.
Those were the days.
Gosh, you remember that? You remember we got to watch that series all day? Like, That's just people in general, man. You can never make people happy. They either go, they want something so bad, then when they get it, they complain about having it. Then when they lose, they complain about when they did have it and stuff like that, man. It's just crazy.
Mm-hmm. True. 100%.
Yeah, man.
Let's enjoy it.
I'm always enjoying it, man.
Yeah.
I enjoy every single day of this because we know what it's like on the other end, man, where you don't get this free time, where you are bogged down, where you do have the natural stresses of life. Man, enjoy this time.
And the weather's getting nice. Like today's incredible. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, bro.
I don't know about a lot, but you go walk.
I mean, when we say a lot of opportunities, I look at it like the fact you're able to enjoy being outside. You don't have to be around people, but
get a lounge chair.
Yeah, I say the lounge chair, sit on your front porch, back porch, play in the yard with your offspring, your little ones, your pets, whatever it may be, man. Or if you want to go through a walk, go on a walk. Keep your distance.
Go for a walk, listen to us.
It's a win-win. Getting educated in all aspects. We're here to help you through quarantine time. That's what we're here to do. Provide you with that energy. Provide you with that education. Provide you with that happiness.
So we give a public service then.
Yeah, we're essential business right here. Why do you think we still open right now, man? It's essential to life.
Exactly.
Yeah. When they close down the radio station, then we'll close. Until then, I don't want to hear it.
I don't even know about that. I think we gotta.
I'm just saying,
we'd
man.
have to power through that even.
I'm just saying, man. Radio station's still kicking. We still kicking, man.
All right, we're good.
Yeah.
So you wanna get into these stuff?
I know, man. Are you done with your OJ?
Dude, I've been done.
Oh boy, said I hate docs. I can't believe I said docs. I hate the fact that I said doc, but I just said doc.
I don't mind like sports documentaries. Come on, like those are amazing. I'm talking about these TV shows and series and all this just stuff that people are tossing out there.
But what is South Park? Isn't that
that is deep stuff, man. That's truth. That has every element to it that you need.
Interesting.
You've seen South Park.
I've seen a lot of shows. I'm just saying I'm not about to crown South Park like that though. Wow.
What do you mean? What's better than South Park?
I'm a Family Guy personally.
No.
It's not even close. Give me Family Guy.
No.
Yes.
Come on, man.
I go Family Guy, then Simpsons, and then I'll throw South Park in there, man.
In terms of the cartoon stuff?
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
And that's not even counting like my nostalgia, like Looney Tunes stuff either.
It's South Park and it's not even close.
Hey, man. We're all entitled to our opinions, man.
None of those other shows even stack up.
Hey, man. It's all a matter of opinion.
Man, I wish Family Guy was funny. I wish Simpsons. I haven't watched too much Simpsons, but the ones I've seen, I'm just like, these aren't even on par with South Park.
Well, I think it all depends on what type of comedy you're looking for. If you're looking for the extra raunchy, sometimes racial comedy, then cool. That's your vibe. If you want something that's a little more wholesome, something that you can watch with anybody, well, then you go Family Guy. That's all I'm saying. One you can watch on network TV. One you got to watch on a special channel.
South Park has deep philosophy in it.
I'm sure it does.
Dude, you know it does.
I'm sure it does.
Come on, man.
I'm sure it does, man. For me, man, the only thing I took away from South Park is pizza or French fries. You feel me? And that's when I go skiing. I know pizza or French fry. That's it, man.
What do you mean?
See, you ain't a South Park guy, bro. That's one of the most epic episodes ever, man.
No. Tell me which one. And then
so they all the little homies, they go up on a ski trip or whatever. And it's not Kenny. I forgot which one it was. It might have been Cartman. He's like, yo, I don't know how to ski. I don't know what I'm doing. And he's like, all you need to do is remember this.
Oh, yeah.
If you, that's, oh, yeah.
No, that one's hilarious. Yeah, and the timeshare and everything. Yeah, that was hilarious.
Pizza and French fry. That's all you need to know.
I didn't know what you meant in terms of this conversation.
I'm just saying, that's all from South Park. That's all I need to know. Pizza and French fry, and Kenny gotta die. That's it. Shout out to anybody named Kenny. They killed Kenny. God. Kenny's dead. Ah!
Dude, it's a deep show, man.
I'm sure it is.
I can't believe you don't think that.
For you.
I can't believe it.
It's all good, man.
Okay.
It's all good.
I kind of want to make a vid about for IG or whatever, South Park or Family Guy. I'm sure that'd be a big conversation.
It could be for me, man. It's not gonna sway my opinion. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm not looking for me to be right. Maybe I am, but just the debate at least.
Yeah, man. I think you've realized in our time together that the public opinion does not have any movement on me, man. Like once I'm here. This is where I met with it, man.
Yeah. And I like being in the thick of the debate.
Yeah. You want the public to, all right, they with me or they against me? All right. And one way or the other.
And then no matter what, like the people that are against me, I will fight till the death till I make a point.
For me, I'm like, man, it ain't that deep. I'm going to watch what I want to watch and I don't care.
Yeah.
But it's all good, man.
I'm ready to get. I'm ready to go. I think you keep prompting me though into.
Well, because it's kind of fun right now, man. Sometimes I just like when we have one of these candid just conversations and we just casually go down the little rabbit hole. I mean, we're gonna get to what we got to get to.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do.
Well, I know you're a busy guy. That's the thing.
Well,
I don't want to be holding you up.
This is my thing, man. You know I got you, man.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I was just glad that you were on time today.
Yes.
Yeah. Strategic, man. Time. I like it.
Not too much strategy in it. You pushed back the time 15 minutes. That's why I was on time.
That's why I said strategic. I knew what I was doing. I said, he ain't going to show up at 11. No way. Let's put it at 11:15. Make him feel good.
Oh, man.
Because I was ready at 11.
No.
Swear.
Come on, man. See, I would have been here at like 11:02, 11:03.
Well, see, that's not 11 though. So I figured if I say 11:15, it make you feel a little bit better. And then I shot you the text casually, 5 minutes before 11:15, like, hey, whenever you're ready, just come on.
Well, dude, I was sitting in a parking lot. That's why I don't want to make it awkward and like show up too early or anything.
It's all good, man.
I was sitting at like that Five Guys parking lot.
It's
so like,
all
what can you do?
It's probably lonely as bug in that parking lot, huh? Was there any cars out there?
No, there wasn't. There was barely any. There was probably 5 or 6 in the whole parking lot. That was just people that had to work there for takeout.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a couple of those places might have been open, but yeah, it's pretty desolate out there. There's no traffic. So
I know, man. I was out early this morning. The only place that was packed was Rite Aid. Rite Aid was jam packed to the brim, man. Everybody trying to get in there and get what they need.
But dude, that's the thing. I'm not the type of person to make like whenever you said 11:15. Like that doesn't really, for me, that doesn't really make me feel good or bad. I'm not the type of person to say, "Oh, he's late and he's behind, so I feel good. Look at me, like I'm the holier than thou." I'm just not wired that way.
Yeah, he's like 11:15. I'll show 11:17. About 11:18. That'd be about right. But anywho,
Okay.
we've made the people wait long enough. I think.
Yeah.
They've had a chance to unwind, I think. They've had a chance to escape reality, I think, just for a little bit. And now we can hit them with these hard, cool facts.
Yeah, that was better quarantine talk than I think talking about actual,
the quarantine.
Yeah, exactly. So that was fun.
Right. Well, that's the job, man. Our job is to give them multiple angles, and that's what we just gave them right there, man. So, XFL obviously had to suspend their season. Well, actually, they canceled their season because their season would have been ending in that first week of April timeframe anyways. And when I look back on the XFL and I think it was 5 weeks that they did get to play, I asked myself, man, how do I view their season? Success, failure, incomplete? I personally think that I'm going to view it as a success for a couple of reasons. First off, they stayed in the conversation for multiple weeks. We even talked about it, how it was times where we might not have had it as in like our main focus on a show that we're watching, but it's on like in the background. We're still like, oh, you're hearing about it, you're seeing about it and stuff like that. And when I look at what has transpired this week, it further validates why I believe it was a success. So as of this week, the NFL and the XFL both agreed that now XFL players can begin signing with NFL teams. Now with the AAF, we really didn't see that right away. In fact, I think we saw a couple of guys from the AAF actually make that move to the NFL after their season, essentially failed and went bankrupt and things like that. But with this XFL, it was unique in the sense that we've seen, as today, it's 2, 4, 6, 8, about 10 to 12 guys that have signed with various NFL teams this week. And for me, I was like, man, I thought, to see how fast NFL teams jumped on these players that were available, I thought that was special. I thought that was dope. And I thought it was a good sign of faith for the XFL going into next season, because now for the guys that might have left college, like it was a cat from West Virginia had left college. I think his mom has cancer and he wanted to take care of her. So he went to the XFL and he started getting paid, obviously. And now he's going to have that chance to jump to the NFL and actually be drafted, which is even cool. He's the first draft eligible player.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about now.
So, like, to see that move and the success that he had, along with these other guys that we're going to talk about in a little bit, I think that shows a lot of guys, collegiate athletes, and some of these fringe players in the NFL who might have been cut and had to sit out a year or two, or whatever, right? Now they're going to see that, hey, this is an avenue that we can take and still hop on with some of these teams in the long run. So I definitely I was impressed by that. What you, man?
No, yeah. I mean, I would agree with you. I would say success just because it would have made it through the full season.
Yeah.
And I think, especially when the playoffs are, I think it was just 4 teams make the playoffs, and then there's, they have their championship. I'm sure that would have been even more hyped and more talked about event. Obviously, we didn't get to that. But yeah, for, what was it, 5 weeks they ended up playing? Yeah, it was solid, and they're going to have a next year, and that's something that more to be said than the AAF or the XFL in its first season. So I definitely think success, the 10 to 12 players, like you mentioned, making the league, that has to say something too. How many made it from the AAF?
From the AAF, initially, I think I saw about 5 or 6. I need to look back to see, like, as it progressed further into, like, training camp and the regular season, did anybody get picked up? But this is just the initial, because the way the contracts were set up for the XFL, you had the one DB, I forgot, I'm drawing a blank on his name, from West Virginia that left. He was the only draft eligible guy. So he was technically the only guy who was able to leave to get drafted. Everybody else, once you signed your contract, you had a 3-year agreement where you can't break that contract. And that was the difference with the XFL. So initially we had speculated that, hey, guys that aren't in the NFL could go to the XFL for a season and hop back to the NFL. Well, that wasn't how their contracts were structured. But recently, what the NFL and XFL agreed upon was, since all this coronavirus thing happened and their season had to get cut short, that if any NFL teams wanted to sign those players, they would allow them to do that. Now, big shout out to the XFL too on this. They are still paying their guys their full salary. Even with their season being canceled. And they were saying that a lot of the guys technically can't put pen to paper just yet because they have to wait until April when their contract officially ends. So that way they can still receive their payment from the XFL. But they've already agreed upon these deals in principle with some of the teams. Obviously, the Steelers have agreed in principle with 3 of those players thus far. So I thought that was cool to see the XFL, a startup league, say that, hey, we're still going to honor your contracts even with all this going on right now. We're still going to make sure that you're paid and compensated the way you're supposed to be compensated, and going to allow you to get the opportunity to make that jump to the NFL.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do with this situation, and they kind of made the best of it, in my opinion, with everything that you said in terms of giving the players their money, letting them go to the league like that. Like that's all you can really do. And if you're going to have a second year, then that's a good thing. Yeah. Some continuity.
Well, and I also think too, man, a sense of comfort that you would get if you are considering going to the XFL, because you saw that, hey, they didn't have to honor these guys' contracts. They didn't have to pay these guys. But what did they do? They say, you know what? We're still going to stand by you guys. We're going to do right by you. And we're going to make sure that we compensate you guys through this situation. For me, I thought that was a huge vote of confidence. If I'm a player and I'm considering, hey, man, when I go to the XFL, man, are they going to do me kind of, I mean, because we talk about how in the NFL is so cutthroat, right? We see in the NFL multiple times, like a guy gets hurt or whatever may happen, they release him and it's cut and dry. They don't care. But right here, they're like, hey, man, we'll take care of you. We're going to make sure that you got some money in your pocket. We're not going to just leave you out there, hung out to dry and stuff like that. So I definitely like that a lot. And when we talked about it a little bit too, some of the players that are getting picked up, in particular with the Steelers, I mean, these are kind of those low risk, high reward type signings when you look at the players and how they could potentially come in here and compete for a spot.
Yeah. So here's my question. Did you want to get into the player? Yeah, go individually. So the first dude was D tackle / nose tackle, Kavon Walker.
Yeah, he led the XFL in sacks at the time.
A lot of tackles for losses. The other dude is an offensive lineman, tackle or guard, Jerron Jones. And then the last one was a safety.
Yeah, Tyree Kennel?
Yes.
I think he said? Yeah.
Yes. So I tried looking up highlights for all these guys. I couldn't find any for the safety or the offensive lineman. They didn't have any for the XFL, at least, just college ones. But then obviously they had some for Kavon Walker because he had almost 5 sacks and all the tackles for losses.
Oh, and it was like in 5 games too, which is crazy.
So my thing is, though, I'm watching the tape, I'm watching the highlights. This is all I can really go off of, just eye test.
Deke, the film evaluator, here we roll.
Dude, nothing. It wasn't jumping out to me, man. There wasn't the, man, this dude's going to make an impact. He is even making an impact while he's making the tackles and the sacks and whatnot. It just seemed like more or less the guys were coming to him. I don't...
Well, I'll say...
Because I'll tell you this, too. I went back and I watched like Javon Hargrave. I watched his college highlights, and I'm like, damn, this dude's a beast. So, what am I seeing there? Is there any validation to what I'm saying?
That. So I'll tell you the difference between the two. One, you have Javon Hargrave, who was an NFL talent playing at a 1AA level. So it's going to look like he's absolutely destroying his competition. You look at my college tape, it looks the same way. The XFL, the margin of talent is a lot closer. So you're not going to see, I mean, how often in the NFL, outside of like an Aaron Donald, JJ Watt, when he's healthy, do you see guys just absolutely murdering people play in and play out?
Right.
It doesn't happen because the competition is too close. So that's why in the XFL, with all of those guys being similar in some vein, you're not going to just see somebody just flat out trashing guys. Like, it's not realistic. I mean, even when we talk about Aaron Donald and JJ Watt, right? When they are going crazy, 20 sack seasons, I mean, it's not like every play they're just absolutely destroying guys. It's not realistic.
The thing is, though, the plays they do make, you feel like, all right, this was them.
But now, do you feel like that because you already know this person, you have an expectation for them?
I don't know.
Because I think that plays into it. Yeah.
I'm just going off eyes. That's all.
So that's my thing, man. When I looked at him, the thing that I did like about Kavon is he had great hand usage, great pad level, and he understood when to get off the block. So what I mean by that is sometimes you see these guys, especially interior linemen.
So is that what I'm seeing then? Him getting off the block and just more or less the guys right there? And
yeah, that's how it's supposed to. So if you look, unless you just flat out make a guy whiff in terms of he shoots his hands at you and miss you completely, you're not going to just run by guys in this league. That was the issue with Bud Dupree for the longest time, trying to just run by guys. So the thing is, when you look at Kavon on his tape, he's coming off low pad levels, hands high, hands shooting, getting to the steering wheel, which is the end, like his chest plates. And then from there, he's driving them back. And the one highlight that everybody's seeing on Twitter, the quarterback is stepping up, scrambling, and then he comes off and makes a sack. That's just a quality football play. And the thing is, if you don't have the time right, you try to come off that block too soon, well, now the quarterback just goes the other way. So you could never be right. But for him, because he had control of control of the offensive lineman, once he grabs him and sees that quarterback's committed, he gets rid of him by using his hands, shedding them, and now he's able to make that play. So for me, I was like, I don't like flashy. I want fundamental because fundamentals would last. Flashy looks good on a highlight. Seriously. So this is the thing. So when I break it down like this, right? We talk flashy. Flashy looks good on highlights, right? But flashy versus a quality opponent doesn't do anything. And that's kind of like when you watch some of these like high level boxers or MMA fighters, right? You watch somebody low level, they do some spectacular flip kick, just insane. You're like, holy cow, that dude's elite. And then you see him versus like a quality guy where you can't do anything spectacular. It's going to come out to your fundamentals. Then you see the difference. A lot of times when we talk about like the amazing players in the NFL, it's not that they are trying to do spectacular things every play. They are fundamentalists. They do every little thing right. I mean, even with AB, the reason what made him so great, it wasn't just he's just so freaky. He just do something crazy every time. Like, no, he's a fundamentalist. You look at his feet every time. No wasted movement. You look at his hands every time. Active. You look at his eyes every time. They're seeing the ball home. So the fundamentalists are the guys who last. The guys who just do like, oh man, that was spectacular right there. It's a flash in the pan.
Speaking of AB, I do want to talk about him. We'll save it for the end of the podcast, but I got something about AB. It's not what you think either. Oh, it's gonna be a surprise.
All right. I'm with you, bro.
So you like the signing? That I did too, because I'm seeing he's leading the league in sacks and has a bunch of tackles for losses and low risk, high reward, like you said. Well, I just wanted to check the tape and see what I saw, and that's kind of what I saw. And it was, in my opinion, I guess maybe I went in with too high of expectations or what I was thinking I was going to see. Yeah. But
like for me, like it's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people view it like that. That's why I feel like guys who've played it at a high level for a long period of time, you see it differently. And no different like scouts. They see it differently as well because this is like what you do. I mean, I would never expect you or half the people that I come in contact with to know some of these type of things because you haven't watched that much film. Like, I mean, when you do it like an NFL level, you're constantly watching film. So you know every little thing. It's like, it becomes, like I said, obsessive. Like it's bad. You can be addicted to it. It's bad. It's bad for you. You don't want to go down that path.
Why is it addicting? That's interesting.
Because, man, like it changes the way you watch sports. Like you can watch sports right now and just enjoy it. I watch sports And I'm instantly breaking down the person I'm watching. Like,
really?
Okay, I see this. He's slow with his hands. Oh, okay. Well, he's late with his feet. Oh, okay. He has a twitch right here. Oh, before he snaps the ball, he does this. He leans back on his heels. Okay, boom.
That sounds fun, though, kind of.
It's fun until you're trying to enjoy the game just to watch the game and you can't. It's not fun then.
You don't get to enjoy the headlines and the storylines like I do. Like, for me, fourth quarter, it's clutch time.
Nah, because I'm like, nah, it's not how it works, man. And now you hear why we have these difference of opinions all the time when we're talking quarterbacks and receivers and star players, and we should pick this guy over that guy. And I'm just like, bro, no, like, no.
Yeah, I could. Well, I probably part of it that's addicting too is whenever you see a guy, it helps you project or predict. Like if you're a scout, if you're a general manager, you putting your chips in saying like, this is our guy. Yeah. Like you want to be proven right in a way. Yeah. I'm thinking in terms of just what I know in terms of video games and like fantasy football. When you say like, this guy's a sleeper, I'm going to pick him in whatever round. And he pans out, you feel like, oh, yeah, like this is, it's more about, it's a you thing actually, as much as you're trying to watch another player and scout him, it's probably more for your ego, right?
Okay. All right, man. I'm assuming that's, I'm new to this fantasy football thing. I told you all.
No, well, that's what I'm saying. I'm asking you, do you think that's the case with you at all or no?
Well, in terms of like when I watch a player and I'm like, oh, he could be good and want to be proven right. I mean, I'm sure everybody has that element.
A little bit of a bias.
Yeah, you have that little bit of it. But I also think that when your opinion is backed by facts, you know more times than not you're going to be right.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I was looked at. Even when, I mean, think about this. A year ago when we were talking Bud, and for the longest, everybody was,
you were on him.
Yeah. And I was like, dude, all he needs to do is this. Like, you just see it. And it's not an issue of it's going to make me feel better because it doesn't bring me more money, but that's my boy. Yeah. So I'm glad to see him getting more money. But it's just when you watch tape and you know a guy, you're like, yo, this is what he's missing. And if he does that, it's going to be successful. And when you see him do it, you're like, okay, but the film told you that though. It's not a
dude. You need a little bit more of man. I told you guys, like you need to come in. I was telling on that, bro. I was telling you guys were sleeping.
I'm good on that. And anybody that wanted to question, that was one of the first videos we shot. Think about that, man.
You know what? I wasn't here for that. But
no, you helped me with the film on it.
No, what? No, I promise.
Yeah, I thought we did. We redid it.
No, we never redid it.
I could have sworn we did,
promise,
man.
First one we did was when Steven Nelson. Whenever he signed Steven Nelson and Moncrief.
Yeah, you're right. You helped me with the second and third one. I remember the first one, shooting that joint on a digital camera, trying to hold it and point. It was crazy. Very frustrating process. Man, shout out to Deke coming in my life, man. Changed everything. Made it easy. There you go. Pat yourself on the back, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm humble about myself. But
I'm humble about myself. You are funny, bro.
My sports picks, though. No way. I'll let you know that.
Because it's very rare that you're right with your sports picks. That's why.
Well, if you throw enough darts out there and, one of them's going to stick.
Oh, God.
You just got to spray your hot takes out there.
You're funny, man. You are funny. But back to these XFL dudes and in terms of the guys that the Steelers signed, the reason why I really like these moves is just because they bring depth. They bring somebody that's going to be hungry.
Competition.
Absolutely. That's the depth element that you need. Because a lot of times, man, when you get that guy that's been the backup for 3-4 years, they get complacent. They feel like, man, all right, I know I'm not going to be the starter, but I know my spot's guaranteed. So now you bring somebody in and that makes them have to compete. It makes them have to get better. I know for me, man, I benefited from it multiple years, man, when I'm here in Pittsburgh and every year they were bringing in, hey, we're going to bring in another linebacker just to compete. Another guy. You're like, all right. All right. So you want to waste money on the sign? Okay, go ahead. Waste a pick on it. Cool. We can go ahead down that pass. Man. And that's just, sometimes you need that though. And I think about guys who are in similar situations. Jordan Dangerfield, right? Rosie Nix. Guys who weren't all this fanfare when they signed, guys who the Steelers essentially took a chance on and said, hey, man, I'll give you a tryout opportunity. Come out here and see what you can do. And now you've seen the impact that they've had on the roster and for the amount of years. I mean, even though Rose just got released, he was on this team and had an impact.
Pro Bowler.
Right, for multiple years. So when I look at that, I think of these type of guys. I say, man, who's the next one? Which one of these guys is going to be that next guy that sticks on the roster, that makes an impact, that shows that he can be a contributor and opens the door for another guy down the line? Like, that's what I see when I see these signings, and that's why I like it.
Do you have anything on the other two, the offensive lineman or the safety, in terms of tape or anything like that?
Dude, I'm just like trying to find it. It's rough.
I couldn't find anything, rough. Man. The only one was Kavon. So that's all I saw. But just in general, I guess we can both agree that all right, these guys obviously did something in the XFL good. And
and the thing too, you have to think is this, man. The Steelers aren't just gonna sign somebody just for the sake of signing them. Even the guys that they give trial opportunities to, they bring them in because they feel like these guys can help the roster in some way, shape, or form. So they're not going to just sign these dudes just for the sake of signing them. And that's what I like, because if that was the case, I mean, they got PJ Walker that everybody had talked about. I mean, he was pretty much.
Where did he sign?
He signed with Carolina.
Okay.
He was going to be like the MVP of the league.
Yeah,
like, he was on a tear. I mean, when they said XFL, that was the guy that everybody talked about. But is he going to play quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers? No. So why would they bring him in? And that was the whole thing, man. When you look at the team, the players that the Steelers are picking up, they're trying to figure, okay, well, who can help us?
Right.
Where do we need some competition at? Not just a sign just for the sake of signing.
No, I mean, those three positions, like it definitely made sense.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man.
So, yeah, I think we're both good with it. I mean, we're not expecting anything crazy with these guys, but for the competition and the potential high reward down the line, if they do pan out and kind of show what they've been doing in the XFL is repeatable in the NFL, then hey, why not?
Well, shoot, and I mean, when we think about just last year, we did have a day one starter come from the AAF.
Right.
Think about that, man. So it's kind of like you really never know, man. Never know.
I mean...
What's up?
He didn't last, but it's cool.
He did last throughout the season. He got in trouble.
Yeah.
So what are you saying?
I mean, we traded for Minka, though. Like, I mean...
Yeah, you traded for Minka because Sean Davis was hurt.
Right. I don't know how much faith we had in him then, right?
Enough faith to start on day one versus Tom Brady?
Yeah,
that doesn't have faith?
It didn't look... We got trashed, man. I don't know how much of it was his fault.
Well, because I was going to say, if we're going to talk about people that didn't look good and got trashed, you know we can go with this.
We've seen
you know we can go with this. So just let me know where you want to proceed with this conversation, man.
He was hurt, man.
Oh, all right.
Moncrief
thank
dropping
you for the
balls.
excuses. Thank you. Okay.
Moncrief,
okay. Thank you. That's all I wanted to hear.
No, but I mean, I don't want to like poo-poo your point. Like, I mean, he started day one and he provided depth throughout the season. And the only reason we don't have him still, maybe we wouldn't have had to make this XFL signing if he didn't get in trouble. Yeah.
Shout out to Southside, man. It's undefeated.
No, Bell beat it.
Yeah, you're right. He did. But what time of day was he down there? We don't really know. We just saw the clip. We don't know what time it
seemed
was.
around like 5 or 6, maybe.
Yeah, it might have been early. Yeah, we don't know. Late night, not good.
So we got the XFL players covered?
Yeah, man. And I think that was pretty much it with those guys, man. But I'm definitely excited to see what they look like when they come, because a lot of those guys that have signed anyways, a good amount of them have been on NFL rosters. I know the one defensive
like practice squads and
whatnot. Yeah, and active rosters. The one guy, Dietrich Nichols, he signed with I think it is, oh my goodness, not Tampa. Or was it Tampa? It might have been Tampa. The thing was, me and him were actually together in Arizona, and he was like lighting it up out there, man. Could cover, real gritty, put you in the mind of like Mike Hilton, but faster. Like, he was that type of guy. So for me, man, seeing him, he went to the XFL, looked good in his 5 weeks. Now seeing him get another opportunity in the NFL. A lot of those guys are similar stories. A lot of those guys have been in the NFL before.
Well, here's the thing. Outside of Cam Kelly, the moves last year that make me maybe a little hopeful, because in the past, remember when we first signed Deion Kane and like Kareth White, I was like, come on, like this is nothing. Like,
it wasn't flash enough for you. I remember that conversation.
Where's Terrell Pryor? Like this. But dude, they had an impact throughout the year. So even though it wasn't like, you know, a Martavis or like an AB or anything, but like Kane made some clutch catches and Kareth White was pretty nice.
And the thing that I always laugh at when people try to say, well, it's not an AB or Martavis or Julio. It's like, those guys are generational talents. It's the reason why you only talked about those 5 receivers for the time they were playing for a reason. They're special. Very, very special. That's not rare. I mean, that's not that's not the normal. They're outliers. So for me, I'm looking for, okay, if you strike lightning, okay, great. You get one of those guys, great. But let me see somebody that can consistently produce. Let me see somebody that can come here and is going to work crazy hard and be a fundamentalist. And that's what you're getting right now.
So I'm good with that. Thanks.
You're not good with that. I'm good with that.
No, I am.
I'm
coming around, man. I'm coming around.
I'm coming around.
Because if this was this time last year before the season, I'd have been like, who are these guys?
You're wasting time, really man. What are we doing, man?
Yeah, who cares about this? But you know what? I'm starting to come around. I'm starting to see things in a different light.
We'll see.
We'll see. What do you mean?
Hey, man, anytime you talk about personnel and you changing your viewpoints, I take it with a grain of salt. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Because I know how you are. The next big name that's available, you over here. Man, why didn't we sign Sue? Sue just signed for 1.8.
You know
we could have got him.
I was thinking that, man.
See?
I definitely was thinking that. Like,
what I'm saying.
Was that all? Is that what he signed for? I didn't see the numbers. 1.8.
No,
8 million. Okay, never mind then. Mind. We can't afford 8 million, but I thought you said 1 for 1.8.
No, I would 1.48.
You would have been furious if that happened.
He ain't signing for 1.8.
I'm just saying if he
ain't signing for 1.8.
Unless he's only signing there for Brady, then I guess.
But he was already on the roster there.
Yeah.
So for him, I'm like, man, I ain't tripping. That's part of my 2010 class anyway. So
wait, he was biased. That's where he was last year.
Yeah. Remember, so Jerry McCoy, they got rid of.
Yeah,
and then they signed him like right afterwards.
Got you. He's been on a few teams, man. But all right, good for him.
Yeah.
All right, so we getting into the. This is probably the biggest topic right now.
It is, man. So, 2 big name quarterbacks still available right now. Well, one's been available through free agency. One just got released in Cam Newton. So now you got Cam Newton and Jameis Winston, both available on the market.
This is stunning.
All the speculation, I hate going down this line, but everybody, hey man, what about Jameis to the Steelers? And now what about Cam Newton to the Steelers? Both of these guys, either one could be great potential successors for Ben, or they could come in here and beat Ben out. So
I don't even want to.
So let's have the conversation, man. If you had to choose which quarterback to sign on a low risk deal, and they could potentially come in here and be the successor to Ben, which one would you rather have?
If we're picking, are we going to talk about if we would just in general?
I'm just saying, we could talk both. We could say, if you had to pick one or the other.
If I had to pick, I'd say
which
Jameis.
one would you pick?
I would pick Jameis.
Okay, and why is that?
Just younger. Cam seems pretty beat up. We don't really know about his health.
Oh, so you say he seems pretty beat up. He just released an article and said he got cleared by all his medical, all his doctors and stuff like that. Physicals are good. And he said this is the best he's ever felt. And he's ready to go. He's hungry. That's what he said.
I like that.
I'm just saying.
I like Cam.
So that means he's good to go.
Wow.
Because he said it. He said, I'm 100% healthy. I passed all my physicals. I'm hungry and I'm ready to go.
See, I don't even like this conversation.
Why?
Just because.
Why?
I don't like the conversation.
Why don't you like this conversation, man?
Because I don't even want to bring in either one of them, to be honest with you.
Why is that?
Just because I know how fans are and they piss me off sometimes.
What do you mean?
If Ben just has a sloppy game or something, people are going to be clamoring.
Oh, so you're nervous?
No, I'm not.
I thought Almighty 7 wasn't allowed to have bad games. I thought he was going to come in here and throw for 7,000 yards, 60 touchdowns, and 0 interceptions.
A bad game happens here and there.
I'm just saying, not according to you. You
Rodgers has bad games.
No.
Brady has bad. Everyone has a bad
Rodgers
game.
In the same conversation as Ben.
No, those guys are all in the mix together.
No. You said it's Ben, then Brady, then Rodgers.
Well,
so
I know.
If he's third, it's not even close.
If I'm doing rankings, then yeah.
Yeah, so it's not even close.
But there's a tier. There's a top 5 or 6 where I just hold those QBs to.
But you hold Ben at the top of that tier,
right?
So how could it be that one bad game could make people say, "Oh my God, we need to put Cam Newton or Jameis"? What are you talking about?
Fans are idiots.
Nah, what? Say that
again. Fans are idiots. I'm one of them, but hey. I'm less of an idiot than those guys.
Right. So now you said you would take Jameis because he's young.
If you have to pick, I would just probably take Jameis.
Because what's Cam? Cam is 29?
I feel like
Cam is 29 and Jameis is 25.
I feel like Jameis would be more okay with this is just really armchair quarterback, like way in the distance judging here. But I feel like Jameis would be more okay with taking a backup role than Cam.
Now, why do you think that?
This is just
because when you look at
assumption.
Jameis, if Jameis was cool taking a backup role, he would have been signed somewhere for backup money or even mid-tier starter money.
I'm saying at this point, though, just because how the market is, dude, I can't believe this because we talked about the QB market a couple podcasts ago.
Yeah.
Is this not stunning to you?
It is. But this is my thing. So why do you think that he would be like, oh man, I accept this. I'm a film.
No,
I'm
I mean,
be a backup. You said that. I didn't say that.
I'm saying it.
That's what you just said. You said armchair conversation. Jameis is probably more cool with being a backup right now.
I just think that's the perception right now of people. Like he's if you're bringing him in, he's going to be a backup. Unless, dude,
I don't view it like that.
No,
I
but
think
that's
it
the
depends
thing.
on where he signs at.
I disagree with that perception though. I can like if you're the Bengals, if you're the Patriots, if you're the Chargers, if you're the Jaguars, you should bring in either one of those quarterbacks to be your starter. Outside of Burrow, like he's obviously going to be the number one pick, and if you're the Bengals, you're just going to take him, and he's going to be our franchise guy. Outside of him, how are you taking any of those other rookie quarterbacks over Jameis or Cam?
I'm with you, bro.
How?
I'm with you.
Especially Jameis, he's only 25 or 26. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. But you said it like Cam was like super older than him. I'm like,
he's 30. He's 30 or 31.
No, he's younger than me. I'm trying to think. He's probably what?
Well, you're 30. You're 32.
So no, but he came out. I'm trying to think. Wait a minute.
10 or 11?
No, it had to be 11. It had to be 11 because he's with JJ Watt and them. Because I remember watching the national championship with a dude from Auburn my rookie year.
Okay, dude, he's at least 30.
Okay,
I know that.
No, older than 31 though.
No older. Yeah, 30 or 31.
So that's not that big of an age difference.
You don't think?
How old has Ben?
You're right. You're right.
Like, what are we talking about, bro?
Dude, when Ben was 30 or 31, he was in his prime. So I guess with Cam, everyone just thinks he's not going to come back. He's so banged up.
But that's the
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
It's perception versus reality right there. That's the low hanging fruit, right? Oh man, Cam's just jacked. He used to beat that man. It's over.
Dude, I disagree with that. Yeah. I mean, I think the Bears should have taken Cam over Foles. Well, we were talking about that. I would have still taken Cam. Yeah. But I mean,
at the time, At the time, though, Cam wasn't available. At the time, you would have had to trade for Cam, and if you traded for Cam,
21
you were
million.
going to have that 21 million cap. So teams weren't trying to do that. So you go ahead and sign Nick Foles because you knew, okay, if a team trades for Cam, great. But if not, who knew when they were going to be releasing him? And I think that was the difference in terms of why the Bears said, okay, we can go ahead and pull the trigger.
Well, they messed up there.
I mean, you say it now, that's hindsight 2020. But if they were going to hold Cam till training camp, for example, and release him, well,
there's no way because they signed Bridgewater,
bro. But this is what
you wouldn't have. You wouldn't have
still on the roster when Bridgewater was signed.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have want to had that kind of like mess.
He was still on the roster. Right. That's all I'm saying. So you can't fault another team for saying, "Hey, instead of me just playing the waiting game to see if and when they're going to release this dude, let me just go ahead and get this quarterback that I know can come in here and play."
The thing I will say about Foles is, isn't that coordinator? Wasn't he have some Eagles connection with Reed? So that's probably why. But I think dude, this is stunning to me because Cam and Jameis, you throw in Tannehill, Dak, Kirk Cousins, who else got a contract? Bridgewater.
Yeah,
all four of those dudes. What Jameis and Cam might be getting paid here. Let's say right now, based on how the market's looking,
they're gonna get less than what those guys
could you say it might be around 10 or 15 million at this point?
Probably. It's gonna be a lot lower than those guys.
That is absurd.
But at the same time, you can't because it's not apples to apples right here. It's when you look at Dak, he was drafted by the Cowboys. He's like homegrown there. So they're gonna make him a priority over any of these older quarterbacks. When you look at Teddy Bridgewater, he's coming off a hot time where he had the 5 games, balled out. You know he's healthy. You know he already has shown he can start in this league. New head coach. Hey, let me get my guy, implement my offers. They already have a connection, Teddy Bridgewater and the coordinator over there as well. So now it's like, okay, well, now I'm good there. So everybody in that sense, it wasn't as if, hey, all 5 or 6 guys are available with no ties to nobody. Pick which one you want. It's like, no, man, we got a connection with this guy. I've worked with this guy. I've had success with this guy. I want him. And that's why you see the bias there. Kirk Cousins in Minnesota. He's already been up there a couple of years now. He's had success up there. So they're like, hey, why are we going to go try to start over new with somebody else?
I don't know what they're saying.
You talking about the guy that just went head to head and beat Drew Brees in New Orleans? That guy?
He got lucky, dude.
Oh, okay. Whatever you say, man.
He got lucky.
So what? I ain't even go down that path.
I told you, a blind squirrel will catch a nut once in a while.
Okay. I was saying, why? Where's ours at? That's all I'm saying, man. Over these past couple of years.
What do you mean? Dude, you saw Ben against Jaguars, against so-called the top defense, balling out, man.
Wait, whoa! Don't you do that. Don't you flush 3 quarters and try to bring up that 4th quarter and say that's the no, don't you do that.
3 quarters.
What?
Wes.
What? Cut it out. The same game where Jalen Ramsey had 2 picks. Stop it.
No, we're talking about a different game.
Which one are you talking about?
I'm talking about the playoffs.
He's talking about a game from 3 years ago. I'm talking about a game from 2 years ago with AB.
Oh yeah, well, you're talking about the one. You're talking about the one at Jacksonville.
Yeah, I thought the most recent one.
I thought you were talking about playoffs.
That wasn't the most recent one.
Huh? Come on.
Come on. We're talking about the most recent one.
I thought we were talking about playoffs.
We're talking about the most recent game versus Jacksonville, where they were about to boo Ben up out of there on the road.
Gritty win.
Yeah, all right.
Gritty comeback.
Hey, blind squirrel, right?
No.
No way, dude. Oh, okay.
Hell no.
Oh, okay.
Hell no. Dude,
okay.
Ben's clutch, man.
Okay.
That's his MO. There's a reason that's his MO. There's a reason Cousins' MO is he falls in the big moments.
Whatever you say, man. Perception is not always reality. That's all I'll say, man.
It definitely is.
Oh, it is? Only when it applies for you, huh?
Yes.
Okay, got you.
Whenever I mandate it, then yes.
Oh, okay.
But dude, that's crazy to me though. Still, so with the whole quarterback market thing, and I'm on the side where if I'm getting Jameis or Cam for less than $20 million, I would take them over any of those dudes. But anyway, in terms of the Steelers quarterbacks, dude, I just think there's gonna be too much of.
You're nervous.
I'm not nervous. It's just I don't think this is gonna work.
Why? Because you're nervous?
No, because all right, we're gonna have to bring one of them in for $1 or $2 million. I don't think that's happening.
Why not?
Well,
we've already seen some of the moves we made. Clearly, if they want to get a deal done, they can get a deal done
for $1 or $2 million. One of these guys.
Clearly, if they want to get a deal done, nobody expected the Ebron signing. We had the conversation. All of us were dumbfounded. Oh, where'd they get this much money from? You saw the Derek Watt signing. Where'd they get this money from? Clearly, they create their own money.
Here's what I will say: if we have one of those guys as our backup, then I would feel good about the team if Ben gets injured.
Mm-hmm.
Like, all right, we still got a shot at this somehow. Okay. If Ben goes down, I do think the season is just shot with what we have right now. So if we're talking from a team perspective, what's so funny?
I'm saying you talking in circles right now. One minute, hey man, I don't want either one of those guys here. Now you're saying from a team perspective, I need one of these guys here.
No, I don't need them.
You just said.
I said I could see.
If Ben got hurt right now with what we have, the season's over. That's what you just said, correct?
Yep.
So you're basically saying we need a quarterback to back up Ben, correct? That's what you're saying, right?
We could use one.
Which one is it?
I could see. I just don't think Ben's getting hurt. That's my whole thing.
How many times in his career has he played 16 games?
Not too many.
Okay,
but
I was just wondering.
So that's the thing. I still don't view Jameis or Cam, though. We've had this whole conversation as backups. So I just don't see how it's going to work.
So if you don't view them as backups, but you're having the opportunity to get one of these guys as a backup, you're telling me you wouldn't want that?
I mean, sure.
Like what? What? That's like somebody saying, sure. Hey, Ben's not a backup, but hey, man, he's available on the market to be a backup right now. Would you bring him in? Absolutely.
I just don't.
What?
Listen,
what are we talking about here?
I don't want people starting to speculate or they bring.
You nervous about your?
I'm
boy.
Not nervous. Man.
If you're not nervous, then why should it matter? You think Tom Brady has ever cared who his backup was?
Even
when they were bringing in Garoppolo.
Yeah, he did.
Even when they were bringing in Garoppolo, it wasn't that. Oh man, he about to take my spot. No, you knew Belichick was trying to plan ahead in terms of, hey, look, man, I know Brady's fresh. I know Brady got 5-6 more years, but look, let's get rid of Brady now and then pick up this dude right here. That's the difference. And even with that, Brady was still winning Super Bowls. We're talking Ben at best 3 years. At best 3 years.
3 years? What?
3 more years.
3 more years.
Right.
Oh, you're talking about one of these guys even
as a succession plan.
There's no way they're gonna be cool with just sitting 3 years.
I'm just simply saying. There's no guarantee that he's gonna play 3 more years. I'm just simply saying, if he were to play 3 more years, the difference though, when you talk about Tom Brady and Jimmy Garoppolo in that situation, Brady was still in his prime. Brady was still feeling great. Brady still has played since that Garoppolo trade? 6-7 years now? You see the difference? That's what I'm saying. Whereas right here, that's not going to be that. Right here, we're not saying, hey man, Ben, I know you got like 6-7 more years, man. We're going to bring one of these guys in for 1 year, let them sit behind you and get rid of you. Like, nah, that ain't how it works, man.
Wait, what do you mean? Sit 1 year and get rid of you?
I'm saying if this situation was going to be like a Brady and Garoppolo situation, I said the reason why it's different is because Ben, his expiration date is a lot closer than what Brady's was when Garoppolo was there. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know, man, because let's just say 3 years. They tried to get rid of Brady 3 years after they drafted Garoppolo.
That's what you're not listening right now.
I know I am.
So how?
I wouldn't be surprised if they would have tried to get rid of Brady sooner, though.
They were.
Yeah.
Because of Belichick.
Right.
Not because of talent. Because remember, how many Super Bowls has he been in since then?
Right.
What I'm saying for this situation with Ben, though, Ben doesn't have that 6-7 more years left. So it's not the same threat of, man, they're bringing this guy and they're going to get rid of me soon. Like, it's not the same type of vibe. It's not the same type of feeling. With Brady knew, hey, man, you trying to pull it fast on him. Belichick wanted to because Belichick said, hey, man, I would much rather get rid of Brady too early and already have my succession plan here than wait too long. Whereas for Pittsburgh, it's going to be the opposite. And we know that.
So I think I get what you're saying, but I'm not.
My thing is this. You're trying to say that.
I'm just saying both situations could
they're
be
drastically
viewed.
different, though. That's what I'm saying.
You're saying if we bring in one of these guys,
it's still a totally different conversation than Jimmy G and Brady. That's what
the actual management and the coaches aren't even thinking of starting one of these guys. Or looking at them
as, oh, hey, man,
I'm going to get rid of it.
Now. Okay. Yeah, because it's a different conversation because Ben only has a couple of years left on his
I'm talking about the fans, though. They're going to be talking about this shit.
Fans talk about everything. You talk about everything.
I just don't
You say 15 to win every year.
I don't want to be hearing it from the fans,
Why?
man. I just don't.
Why? The only reason you would hear it is if your boy ain't play good.
Huh?
The only way you would hear is if your boy don't play good.
No, you'd hear it after one perhaps shaky game.
I just said the only way you will hear it is if your guy does not play good.
One game, that's ridiculous. It's absurd, man. I don't want to be hearing this stuff.
You weren't doing that when Mason played bad once and when Doug played bad once? Cut it out.
Nah, man.
Shoot, you just gave a full indictment on Cameron Kelly for the first game starting versus Tom Brady, the arguably the best quarterback in history. It's crazy when it comes full circle now. That's funny. Man, it's just one game, man. I can't stand fans. You just was about to just kill Cam Kelly's whole playing career because of one game versus Tom Brady. And now, oh man, but if Ben come in and have one game, man, I'm gonna have to hear this from the fans, man. It's crazy, man. It's a one game. Which one is it, Deke? Which one is it, Deke?
I could see how bringing in either Jameis or Cam makes sense. I'll just say that. Am I wanting it? Will I?
Because you're nervous, huh?
I'm not nervous at all.
Why would if you had a chance to strengthen your roster for a cheap price?
Listen, I just don't want to water down the comeback, man.
Water down what comeback?
Where it's just like it's ride or die. Like, let's go.
What do you mean?
It's the season's ride or dying on Ben. Like you want that.
Well, why do you want that?
You kind of want that. You want
why?
The whole storyline. You want everything.
So if he fails, then we deal with another scene like we just had. Is that what you want?
No, I told you that. So
what are you saying? I don't understand your concept of, man, don't water down the comeback. It needs to be all or nothing on Ben. Like what? That doesn't make sense.
I'm emotional.
If that's the case, then why even have backup quarterbacks?
I'm emotional, dude.
Jeez.
It's just tough.
It's because you got that love affair.
Nah,
you get that Ben Roethlisberger number tough. 7 tattoo on your heart.
It makes sense. We haven't really had a backup QB, in my opinion, where you felt in all of Ben's career, if he went down, then we could do something. Mm-hmm. Breeze, you had Bridgewater. Brady, you had Garoppolo. I guess we never really had a guy. So it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. I'm just giving you the other side of it because
what other side of it? Just I don't understand what you're saying. The other side of it. What other side are you speaking of?
I don't want to hear it from fans. I just don't want to hear any speculation of this guy's here
because you're nervous about your guy.
I'm not nervous.
You are. That's the only reason you would say that. And that's how the conversation just started when I said you think Brady was concerned about that because Brady knew he was going to ball out regardless of who was behind him. He was going to ball out.
No, because I don't want to be picking sides and stuff. That's the thing. If we brought in Cam or Jameis, because I got nothing against them.
If he's balling, he's balling.
What? No, well, here's the thing. You have the whole lead up to the regular season.
Okay.
I just don't want to hear it, man. I don't want to be picking sides and defending.
Why? If he's balling, he's balling. It shouldn't be a conversation, correct? The only way it becomes a debate is if your guy, Mr. Perfect, isn't playing up to par. That's the only way that conversation happens.
I could see it being a conversation in the offseason.
But why would it be?
I don't know. People, like I told you, people are idiots, man.
You nervous. It's cool.
I'm not nervous.
You're nervous.
I swear to God, I'm not.
You sound very nervous right now.
I'm not at all, dude.
You sound extremely nervous right now.
I'm not nervous, dude.
You know what it remind me of, though?
What?
So, you know, we talk about, hey, man, you should bring some guys in for competition, bring a little depth, stir it up a little bit, right? You want that in every position but at quarterback. You just said it earlier in the podcast. Man, I like these XFL signings because it brings a little competition, you know? Yeah, a little competition. Oh, 7 can't handle competition. That's what you're telling me.
It's not needed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dude, it's not needed. It's disrespectful.
Interesting.
It's disrespectful. But
now it's disrespectful. Why is it disrespectful?
Because there's no competition.
So what? So he's above the roster. He's above the team.
I mean, I don't know if I want to say that.
Oh, I'm just asking. I'm just curious.
Because I think he wouldn't say that. He's a team guy.
I'm just curious.
He's a leader. So
he's not allowed to have competition. Everybody else got competition. He can't have competition.
I don't know. I don't think you do that to guys. I mean, for Aaron Rodgers, you bring in someone for competition. Drew Brees competition.
Drew Brees, they brought in Teddy Bridgewater.
It's not competition though.
So if we brought in Jameis Winston, that wouldn't be viewed the same way?
No, I mean, I wouldn't think so.
So did anyone?
I wouldn't be expecting that. I just don't know how people are going to react and stuff to it.
All I'm saying is this: best case scenario for Teddy Bridgewater, when he won those 5 games in a row, people were like, "Man, who should start when Breeze comes back? Should you stay with the hot hand? Should you roll with Bridgewater? I mean, should you roll with Breeze?" As soon as Breeze got cleared, it wasn't even a conversation for the Saints.
Listen,
Breeze to start quarterback. So why do you think this to be any different?
Listen, if that's the case, then that's cool.
What would the case be? That's what I'm saying.
I don't know, man. I guess
nervous
it goes
for no reason.
No. I guess it goes back to can you trust everything going on here?
You're just nervous, man.
I'm not nervous.
You couldn't imagine. You would probably lose your mind if Ben came out in the first 5 games and was just absolutely terrible. God forbid, absolutely terrible. And they said, we're going to have to go ahead and put Cam in or put Jameis in. And Jameis leads us to that 7th Lombardi. You would be on suicide watch. Deke would shut it down. Deke would be like, I'm not talking to nobody. Don't you ever look at me again. I hate football. That's the path you would go down if that would have happened. And I think that's deep down inside why you don't want either one of these guys here. Because in one vein, you say, hey, I would feel a lot comfortable with the season if Ben were to go down and we got one of those 2 guys. But then you're like, man, but I don't want to hear fans saying, man, we should go ahead and start this guy with him. Gosh, Deke, really?
If he got hurt and they came in, then it's fine. But
wow, Deke,
it's tough.
Wow, I never thought I'd see this day, Deke.
What do you mean?
Wow.
See what?
Wow.
What?
You would rather the team lose than have somebody take Ben's spot. That's what it is.
That's not the case.
That is the case.
That's not the case.
Because I'm telling you for a fact, we got a chance to bring somebody in that can make our roster better. And you're like, nah, I don't want that because people might say.
I said I'm good with it.
There might be a conversation.
I said I'm good with it.
And if Ben plays bad for multiple games.
It's not going to happen.
If Ben plays bad for multiple games, so he's never had a bad game, okay.
Just one. I mean, yeah, there could be a 1 or 2 stretch. But
it could be like a Jacksonville game, huh? No, like the first Jacksonville one, 5-pick Jacksonville one. Oh,
dude, that was no.
So
2 of those picks didn't even matter because it was at the end of the game.
2 of those games versus Jacksonville have looked really bad, and one is looking really good. Oh,
he won the other. What do you mean? It's 2-1. I would if you went 3 games,
2-1.
No, 2 bad games or 2 good games.
3 games total. Game. 2 bad, 1 good.
No, he won the one.
That okay. You could say that's the one good then.
No, and that. What do you mean? The playoff game?
I'm saying the playoff game was a good.
Yeah, and then the one he won too.
That was not a good. So that was a good game by Ben.
Gritty. Comeback win.
I asked you a question? Was that a good game by Ben?
Second half.
Not second half. Fourth quarter.
It's about getting that dub, man. He got the dub.
So the team won. Okay, good. I said, did he play well?
He brought a comeback, man.
So you know what? Everybody else on the field just don't do nothing. Everybody else on the field just sit down, let Ben do it by himself.
They did. Juju made some nice catches. AB was nice.
The defense obviously was doing their job too.
Yeah,
so what I'm saying to you is this: you can't say that was a good game by Ben. You can say he had a good clutch moment in the end. Okay, cool. Give him the clutch moment. All right, boom. but the game as a whole was not a good game. So 3 times versus that same Jags team, he had 2 bad games, 1 terrible game, and 1 really good game. So could the really good game be the blind squirrel? Is that
Hell no.
Is that the conversation?
Because he won the other.
So all I'm saying is this, man. We talk about all this, and essentially you're nervous.
I'm not nervous.
You're nervous.
I'm not nervous.
There's somebody come here and take your knight in shining armor spot.
It's not nervous. We have 2020 ready. Everything's looking good how it is. Like I said, the comeback and everything. Let's just.
How's everything looking good when you just said it yourself? You're not comfortable with the QB depth.
Hey.
So how's everything looking good if you're not comfortable with the depth? We talked about how we like the Steven Wisniewski signing, or Wisniewski signing, because of the depth it brings to the offensive line, right? We talk about we like the Ebron signing because the depth and competition it brings to the tight end room. But when it comes to quarterback, and we got an opportunity to bring in high quality player, great depth, a little bit of competition. Oh, you don't want that though.
You know what, dude? The more I'm thinking of this is all far-fetched anyway, so I don't even know why
is this far-fetched?
This is just, you know,
I will say this. There have been multiple high-level analysts, high-level people that have those type of connections that have said that Jameis to Pittsburgh could be real. And here's why.
I know, that's why we talked about it a couple podcasts ago.
And even for me, I was kind of against it because I said, man, I didn't think he was going to take that type of money. But right now with this market being what it is, he might say, you know what? If I got to take less, let me come over here where at least I know I got an opportunity. At least I know, hey, man, Ben's coming off an elbow injury. It's no guarantee that he's going to be the guy. And he could say, you know what? I want to come over here and I think I could get him. Or I can wait him out because he might get hurt again. Oh.
A 1-year deal's fine.
Now, you said 1 year deal. Say he comes on the 1 year for hypothetical purposes. And Ben starts.
Dude, why are you talking like this, man?
It's just because this is not a real situation. It's not a real question. It's not a is there a possibility this could happen? That's all I'm asking.
It's extremely low.
How's it extremely low?
Just extremely low, because we heard the reports earlier last weekend. He's no doubts.
Whatever happened to that saying? Believe half of what you see, and what's it like? None of what you hear. So I'm like, is that that's it? Yeah. So forgive me if that's how I proceed in life, because he said that, and then Cam Newton a week later said that he's completely healthy past all his physicals, and I'm like, I'll believe when I see it.
For Cam?
For both.
I believe both.
You have to, because you've already pigeonholed yourself. You can't believe one and not the other.
Well, I like Cam. I hope he does well.
Just not in Pittsburgh.
I get it. I told you it makes sense.
Yo, you are funny.
I told you it makes sense. I don't have much to say about it.
Would you do it? If Deke was the GM, would Deke bring in Cam or Jameis? Simple question. If Deke is the GM of the Pittsburgh Steelers, does Deke bring in Cam or Jameis?
I don't know, man.
No. I don't know. Would Deke bring in Cam or Jameis? Yes or no?
I don't know, dude.
Come on, man. Don't do that.
I have to negotiate the contracts.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Would you bring him in? Yes or no?
I don't know, man.
How hard is it to answer?
It's tough.
Why is it tough?
Well, let's hear your...
Because you're scared.
Let's hear your answer first. Let's hear your answer
scared.
First.
Chump. This dude. For me, man, it's a simple question, man. It's a simple answer. If I got the opportunity to bring in Jameis or Cam, I'm bringing them in. And here's why. First off, when you look at the depth behind Ben Roethlisberger, am I comfortable with Mason, Duck, Paxton Lynch, or JT Barrett versus Cam or Jameis? Not at all. I'm taking Cam or Jameis over any of those guys any day of the week. And I'm not saying that Mason, Duck, Paxton Lynch couldn't potentially grow and develop into a starting level quarterback. We don't know that. I'm not going to put that stamp on them right there because they're young in their careers. But we know Jameis. We know Cam. These dudes have been proven. Cam has been an MVP in this league. Cam has started in a Super Bowl. We've seen Jameis light it up. We know that both of them have flaws, though. First off, with Cam, he has to do a better job protecting himself. I think back to Ben before Todd Haley. That was a knock on Ben. Remember, he got to do a better job protecting himself. I said the difference between Cam and Ben is Ben had a coordinator in Todd Haley that came in and said, we're going to emphasize getting the ball out faster, taking some of these hits off you, saving your body. Cam hasn't had that just yet. So for me, I'm like, man, if Cam gets that type of coaching, if Cam could get that type of mindset, man, that extends his career. That makes him a lot more lethal. Now, when I look at Jameis, I said, man, Jameis, he can sling it with the best of them. He can put up a ton of yards, ton of points. We know that. But the flip side is he takes a lot of chances and sometimes he gets overly reckless. Similar to Ben, though. I said, okay, well, if I'm looking at these two and I'm saying, man, comparing contrast, he's a similar guy to Ben. He could potentially learn from Ben in terms of Ben saying, hey, I know you want to take this chance, this chance, but instead of taking 5 crazy chances, let's only take 3 of those crazy chances. So if something doesn't work out, it's only 1 pick and not 3 picks. That's a conversation that Ben can teach him because Ben has walked down that path before. So for me, I'm like, man, it's a no-brainer if either one of these guys were available to come to the team and they wanted to come here, that, yeah, you bring them in because you upgrade your roster. You make sure that you don't have a repeat of last year. Whereas in the you say it's highly unlikely. I'm hoping it's highly unlikely, but there still is a realistic chance that Ben isn't back, that Ben isn't the same Ben throughout the duration. Not, oh, he came out in the first 3 games, looked great, and then he fell off by week 10. I'm saying if he's not where he needs to be, at least we know you have somebody that can come in and produce, somebody that's going to be hungry because they're going to want to show that they can be a starting level quarterback again. Somebody, whether it's Jameis or Cam, that is competing because they want to get paid again. All of those signs point to, why wouldn't I want to bring them in? And like I said, it's super low risk. We already seen the market. We see that, hey, these dudes, they're not about to get paid 20. Then they might get 15, if that. I don't even know. Because of what how long they've sat out here right now. And now if you're a GM, the way you flip it now is, hey, I don't have to pay you like that because all these other teams didn't. So I don't care what you did last year. I don't want to hear that. I'm not paying you more than this. Take it or leave it. Now they got the power. So now you can get one of those guys for a super team friendly deal.
Like $5 million, you think?
I think it's a conversation to be had. Wow. That's all I'm saying. And we're not going to get into the particulars of whatever the dollar amount is because the dollar amount doesn't matter. It's the guaranteed portion that matters. That's the part that gets you. So for me, until I see what that is and how that conversation would go or how they want to finagle the contract and stuff like that, that is just secondary to me. For me, my thing is, does either one of those guys upgrade this team? Absolutely. Can either one of these guys come in and help us win games if they were called upon? Absolutely. So for me, I'm not going to live in my fear of, I hope Ben doesn't get beat out. I hope Ben comes back and is perfect and all this stuff, because that's not realistic. It's the NFL. You gotta show it every year. That's how it works. So for me, I'm looking at this the same way, man. Hey, I hope Ben comes back and I hope he's producing. I hope he leads us to the 7th Lombardi. But if not, I want to make sure that, hey, we're not sitting here wasting an elite level defense that's in their prime. Because I ain't want to hear nobody say, hey, man, after one bad game, man, put Cam, man, put Jameis in. Nah, I don't care about none of that. I want to make sure that we utilize these talents and these pieces that we have right now. While we still got Kevin Colbert as our GM, while we still got Mike Tomlin as our head coach. Let me make sure we put all our eggs in one basket. Let's push all our chips to the table. You like that, right? Only when it applies to everybody else but Ben's job security. When it comes to Ben, no, don't do that. No, chill. Like, I don't want to hear that, man. I don't. We're trying to win a Super Bowl.
I agree with you, man.
You think New Orleans was complaining? Oh, hey, man, God, man, don't bring in Bridgewater, man. He was started before. God, I'm nervous. What if Drew don't come back and look the same? We shouldn't bring him in. No. They was over there like, yes, man, thank God we got Teddy Bridgewater for these 5 games. That kept us in the race. That kept us in terms of being one of the top 2 seeds in the NFC. You want to be over here? Nah, man, but people might say something, man. They might suggest because Ben might not be playing up to par that we need to switch him out. You would rather the ship be completely sinking, burning on fire. Hey, man, but Ben's our guy. We're good. We have no backup plan. Don't worry about it, guys. Like, for what? What are we talking about here, man?
Here's the thing.
You nervous for the wrong reason, man.
Like, no matter what, though, like if he's in the game, I just feel like we're gonna win. That's kind of like my.
I already know.
So that's
but
the
then
thing.
You pick and choose when you want to make excuses. It's all good.
Listen, you said it very well, and I'm glad you put that out there because I think most people would agree with
Except
you.
I don't know. No. You had it. Don't backtrack now. You had the opportunity. I said, Deke, if you were the GM, Would you bring in Jameis and Cam? And you say, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
We all agree that
I don't know.
I shouldn't be GM.
But so how hard?
I agree with you.
How hard of a decision is that to make?
It's tough, man. Loyalty, man. You loyal. Loyalty, man.
So you don't want Ben to get another ring, period?
I do. A ring?
A ring.
Yeah.
Because if he was on the roster and say he got hurt or did not perform up to par and one of these guys come in and lead you to a championship, that gets him another ring. That gets the team 7 rings. Oh, but you don't care about that. That's different, right?
I mean, if he's not the one playing the game.
Oh, you don't care. You'd rather lose it.
Carson Wentz?
I'm just asking, would you rather lose it?
No.
No, you just said loyalty, though.
What?
So which one is it?
I'm a little bad, man.
So you don't care about the team potentially being in position to win another ring, though?
I know I want us to.
No, because you would bring in one of these guys because that would give you more depth and more security at that position.
It's just tough to talk about.
Oh, why is it tough to talk about?
It's just tough to talk about.
It's just a conversation.
I agree. I told you, man, that it makes sense, but
you wouldn't do it though. When I asked you the simple question of would you bring one of those guys in to be Ben's backup right now? No, I don't know. Nah. It's tough. I don't know.
I'd probably assign someone else to be GM for that day and just like
why?
Say I didn't do it.
So you would much rather the team go down then?
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, man. No.
So would you bring one of those guys in there?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah. So.
No, not it makes sense. Would you do it?
Yeah, I mean, this is like being in an interrogating room here.
It's a simple question. I watch a lot of cop shows. I like to put yourself in a box, and this is why I watch these shows. So I can say, okay, you there? Okay, we're gonna come back to that in a second. But now that we are here, would you put him in? Would you bring in Jameis or Cam?
I'm getting worn down here, man.
Which one do you care about? All I need to do is make it freezing cold in here. That's the next thing. I know you want that cigarette. I know you want to drink. I get you a sandwich. It's okay. You ain't mean to do it.
Dude, honestly.
You ain't mean to do it.
A Bud Light would be nice.
It was an accident. You ain't mean to do it. It's okay. It's okay. We know you not like that. You not a bad guy, Deke.
Dude.
Let's go.
Listen, I've laid out my emotions and all my thoughts there. So you guys can take what you want from that.
So you're saying you would rather the team go down?
Nope, I never said that though. I never said that.
You want us to be the Titanic?
No, I never said that. I never said any of that.
Okay, so would you bring in Jameis or Cam? Because you keep saying you don't know. So it sounds like you're the captain of the Titanic right now. You're just kind of like, iceberg, probably should go around. Hey, but we don't, change our course. We stick to it. I got to do this. I probably should go around. Nah, but we got to stick to this. I know I should probably bring in Jameis and Cam as a backup plan. It could be great. But I gotta I gotta stay with this loyalty, baby. I gotta do this. And then before you know, we all over here. I'm on the door. Rose, let me get on the door with you, Rose, please, Rose. I never let go, Jack. And now we all going down because Deke didn't want to bring in Jameis Cam as a backup player. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you, Deke. I appreciate you.
Man.
I don't even know if you're still the Nation right. You're Ben Nation right now. That's what you are. You're a Ben Roethlisberger guy. You're not a Steeler guy. You're a Ben guy. No, you're not.
Steeler Nation. No, you're not. Dude, I was riding or dying with this last year, man.
Weren't. No, man. You were like, hey, man. You were on the podcast and said it too.
What? I
want these guys to do well, but not too well though. You definitely said that.
Yeah.
Said, I want them to do well, but whoa. I was like, so well, they could be the starters and lead us to a Super Bowl and we're all like hype. Oh, I ain't say that now. Whoa.
Oh, whoa. Now you're putting words in my mouth.
You said, whoa, I ain't say that now. Whoa.
No.
You said, because Ben got to be the guy. Whoa.
I do want Ben to be the guy.
Whoa,
I do. Like, if you have priorities, if your rankings, how it goes, I want Ben to be the guy.
And then Steelers win.
What? No, man. I mean, you want both. You just want
no. Which one do you prioritize? Would you want Ben to be the guy, or you want the Steelers to win? Since you won't answer the other question of Jameis and Cam, would you rather Steelers look great? I mean, Steelers win, Ben looks trash, or Ben looks great, Steelers lose?
Man, I don't want that, man.
No, which one?
I don't want either. It's a gray world we live in.
No, it's not a gray world. It's black and white in this conversation, man.
Nah, I'm not.
This is a simple.
It's not an easy
question.
Answer. It's not.
It's a simple question. Which one would you rather?
That's why I can't answer it.
Would you rather have Ben look great and the Steelers lose, or the Steelers look great and Ben looks absolutely trash?
But Ben's still playing.
And we have to move on from that.
No, we don't move on. Ben's still playing?
You said enough. You've said enough.
I didn't say anything, man.
Like I said, sometimes less is more.
I didn't say anything. Dude.
Less is more right here. You've said more than enough.
Nah, man. Listen, I would like to actually ask. There's probably some Packer fans, even some of these some Patriots fans here now with Brady. It's tough to separate. You know, with like Favre and like Brady and the team. It's tough. It's tough, man. If you're a big fan of that the quarterback or one player, it's just tough to separate. That's what I will say.
Okay. I'm sure all them Brett Favre fans were just hating the fact that Aaron Rodgers led them to that Super Bowl. Oh man, I know they
some years passed.
Oh, I know they hated that.
Some years passed.
They hated that thing. God,
no, some years passed.
Oh man, how
they didn't hate it, dude? Come on, see, you're painting me out the wrong way, man.
You paid yourself.
Oh,
hey, man,
I wouldn't hate if the Steelers won, dude. That's absurd.
You just said that if Ben was playing trash and had to be removed and we put somebody else in that quarterback and the Steelers win the Super Bowl, you would not be happy.
That doesn't mean I wouldn't be rooting for us.
Would you be happy?
Would I be happy?
So if you're not happy, what are you doing there?
I'd be happy. I would be. I think I would.
The fact that you have to have this conversation with yourself, that lets us know right there, bro.
It would be like bittersweet, man.
Why would that be bittersweet?
It would be bittersweet. It would just be tough to. It's just tough, man. Listen, once Ben does retire, once that point happens, like you're probably gonna get a different me. Like you're probably gonna.
Interesting.
Like it's just the time in my life and time in my Steeler fanhood.
That you still are here with us. That's what I'm saying.
What do you mean?
I'm just saying, man, because you are like, yeah, I can see like if I had to envision Deke's room, it has like a shrine with like 7 face, Ben Tiki doll,
not at all.
Ben Voodoo doll, and poster of Ben rookie gear, poster of Ben Super Bowl, mock Super Bowl ring with Ben spit on it, like Big Ben sheets, Ben Roethlisberger autographed pillowcase, like that's, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying, Deke. It's cool,
it's
bro.
Not like that at all.
Yeah,
I promise.
You say that, but then we go on the mic and it just sounds a little different. That's all I'm saying.
It's not like that at all.
It's cool, bro. I ain't tripping.
Wait, so who would you take, Jameis or Cam?
If healthy, because he says he's healthy, I would go Cam, because when we look at it, Cam has been the more consistent player of the two. Cam has shown that even though he can get a little loose with the ball in terms of turnovers, what he's able to do from a passing and running standpoint, he's very dynamic in that regard. People try to give him the low-hanging fruit hate of, he's not a leader. He's not a leader. Why? Because he celebrates after scoring. Why? Because he doesn't say what you want him to say. Why? Because he goes he goes left when everybody else is going right. For me, I've never heard anybody say that Cam's not a leader. Guys that I value in terms of their opinion, guys that have been teammates of him, has never said that. So anybody that has that statement, I personally feel like it's a lazy take.
I'm with you, dude.
Now with Jameis, I feel like Jameis can definitely ball, but for me, it's just the high interception rate. And you can look at the statistics and they'll show that a lot of his interceptions have come when the team was trailing. But for me, when I look at the fact that, okay, if they are trailing, and especially if they're trailing by multiple scores, a lot of defenses play softer coverage because you don't want to give it the big play. You want to let them get all the dink and dunks. So the fact that you're still throwing picks in these type of situations like that, that's not good for me. I feel like you're pressing too much. And that's one of the things that still, I feel like it's harder to teach or to correct that. Whereas with Cam, me teaching him to, hey, instead of trying to run over this guy, slide. Instead of trying to fight out of this, just take the sack. Like, I think that's an easier conversation to have, especially when you're looking at Cam, who's had multiple seasons now in the past 2 years of being out. I think you start to value your health a lot more. You understand that, hey, yeah, I probably could fight for this, but I don't need to. Let's lose this battle here, but win the war. Whereas with Jameis, it's a different conversation. It's more of the, hey, you're not going to be able to make every throw. You're not going to be able to squeeze every ball into every tight window. And until you learn that, that's the difference of like confidence and arrogance. A lot of his picks come off as arrogance in terms of him just saying, hey, man, I can make that throw. I don't care. Like, you can't do that. And sometimes that takes a lot more to correct versus me telling the guy, hey, look, man, Cam, I know you're bigger than this linebacker. I know you probably could run over him, but either make a miss or get out of bounds. Like, that's an easier conversation to have. So for me, I'll roll with Cam because I know when Cam is on, when Cam is healthy, Cam is one of the best in the league. We've seen it. We know that. And for anybody that wants to come at this, oh man, he's soft, man. You remember that play in the Super Bowl? I don't want to hear none of that. Because at the end of the day, when you're out there in that game, of course he's just slow down. Oh man, look at that. He made a business decision in the Super Bowl. He's a quarterback. Quarterback's first mindset isn't, hey man, let's jump in here and get crazy for this ball. No, I don't care what game it is. All that hoopla about, oh, it's the biggest game of your life. That's cool leading up to it. And probably the first series or two, I can tell you, because in the AFC Championship game, hey man, through one shoot hype, man, it's the AFC Championship game. Da 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 da. Once that game starts, you're not thinking of none of that. You're just playing. You're just out here going through your fundamentals. It's no different than they talk about the muscle memory. It all becomes muscle memory. So his muscle memory isn't to, hey man, I see all these guys right here for this ball. Let's just dive in here head first for this. No, that's not what he's trained to do. That's not what he's conditioned to do. But when we talk about Cam, you don't have to worry about his toughness. His toughness speaks for itself. You've seen the tapes. If that's your only one negative, I can show you 1,000 others where it validates his toughness. And for me, man, that's why I'm like, dude, if I pick between the two, I'm going Cam instead of Jameis.
Okay. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. I like the reasoning.
That's just how I roll. And I like how he dresses.
No, come on. No.
I thought you would too. What? Really, Deke?
I do got my own swag, dude, but me and Cam's swag is a little different.
Y'all are consistently your own area.
Yeah, but what has he got? The little fur or the fox
saying,
thing?
So my question is, so it's cool for you to be in your own little area. And you say, man, I'm Deke. Don't put me in a box.
Right.
But Cam is in his own little area. And now it's, oh, why you got to dress like that, man? The little fox, the hat, the scarf, what? The tight pants, what is this? The capris. Like, I love it. Be you. Okay. We talk about being you. We talk about individuality. We talk about letting people know that, hey, I'm Cam Newton. I'm not just a jersey number. I'm a person. This is what I like. I enjoy fashion. I love that. Do it.
I'm good with that, too. I like Cam, dude. So I do think fashion's questionable though. That's all. I like your point. Though. Maybe I should ease up.
Saying fashion is questionable.
Maybe I should ease up.
Wow.
Maybe I should ease up, but
because there was another saying about the pot calling the kettle black or something like that. It's all good.
I've done that a few times here. Huh?
It happens, huh? It's all good.
So we good on the quarterbacks and the XFL. We got all that.
Man, that was good.
I have some on AB.
Yeah, go ahead. Let me hear your AB thing, man.
So remember you did that Ben. I don't know if you want to say rant or the epic sound you made about Ben last podcast. Yes. So I've been working on clipping that up, putting some sound behind it, put some highlight clips. Yeah. So it's looking good right now. I got it just about done. But anyway,
7 looks in your eye. All right, we ain't going there.
Anyway, I had to find highlight clips and everything. So I'm looking, and they have the top 100. I think it was for 2016 or 2017, one of those years. And you were in it. Uh-huh. You were in the top 100 where they talk about the player. Ben was like, in the 20s or whatever. And you talked about Ben, and you're like, Ben, 7 makes it happen. And
man, no question. I'm telling you.
So you did.
If I got one game of my life, I'm rolling with it. Let's roll, baby.
That's good. So
you're funny. That's good.
So you were talking about it, but then it was cool to see you in there. But then all of a sudden, they have a soundbite with Ben and AB.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
What?
So AB says, Ben says this to AB. A lot of you, a little bit of me. This was after a touchdown. So I'm looking back to the whole AB post with Ben and the apology. All he was saying there was a catchphrase, was a little catchphrase that they said amongst themselves. And just like, hey man, remember these times.
Yeah, that's what
it wasn't him saying a lot of you was to blame, only a little bit of me. That's not what he was saying there.
Okay.
So that's actually pretty crazy. I found something.
Yeah. Okay. You believe that, all right?
I do believe it because I saw it.
Okay. Like I said, you roll with it, man.
I saw the catchphrase, man.
You roll with it, baby. I ain't tripping. You roll with it, man.
AB was just recalling those times.
That's what it was. Exactly what it was. Yeah.
So that was eye opening. So everyone that's listening, check it. I don't know what year it's 2016 or 17.
I hope you're right.
Top 100 players, Big Ben.
I genuinely hope he's good. I mean, shout out to AB too, man. Recently said that he's engaged and got a baby coming with the lady. Like, I mean, with his fiance now. So yeah, that's what he said. So I'm 100% with him.
Dude, he seems like he's on the right track,
man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now we're worried though for football reasons because there's talk. He wants to team up with TB.
A lot of you, a little bit of me, huh?
Huh?
A lot of you, a little bit of me.
What do you mean?
I'm just saying.
I think he would team back up with the Steelers though. He likes Brady. He loves Brady though.
That's crazy. He was only with him for a little bit of time too. How could all these? A lot of you live with me.
I mean, Brady's a good guy, dude. Good quarterback. I don't blame him. He's a good quarterback.
Nah, I know why they connect though, man. They view each other as the same. 6th-round draft picks, hardest workers in the room. They relate. Brady has never seen somebody work on their craft and be as obsessed with their craft as he is, because Tom is obsessed with it. Everyone knows it. Like, not even close. And then you got AB. Obsessed with his craft. No one else works as hard as him until he met Brady. And that's why they got that affection for each other, man. Because you respect it. It's different, man. Like, I can say personal experience. Like, when you feel like you've had to overcome so much and you feel like you've had to scratch and claw, anytime you come across guys who you feel had stuff handed to them or didn't have to work as hard or don't appreciate it the same, your respect for them is always different. You know what I mean? Like, because it's just like, man, you don't understand the struggle. You don't understand what it was like. We weren't early picks. You know what I mean? We had to do every little thing exceptionally just to get in this place. Whereas you got to hand it to you. So you've never had to compete. You've never had a person come here and try to take your job. They never set you down because you were late. Now you look at Brady, he's saying the same thing. Man, I had to do this, and this. Nobody believed me, da-da-da-da-da. And now you see why those two guys vibe so well. Whereas AB and some of his other quarterbacks that he's played with, it's a little difference of opinion.
You talking about Derek Carr?
I said quarterbacks. It was plural. That's why. It's a little different.
Hey, man, people go about their profession different ways. That's all. What works for one person.
And that's why when you talk about why AB and Brady have such a connection, I'm just letting you know because they know we the hardest workers in the room, and we were arguably the best at our position for multiple years because of that work ethic.
And I like both of those guys. So I mean,
that's what I'm saying, man.
I'm not knocking it.
I'm just giving you a little nugget right here,
I'm not
man.
knocking it, but if they team up and they already have Evans and Godwin, they're going to draft their running back. Holy shit!
Oh, what you nervous for, man? We got 7, bro. We ain't tripping.
Yeah, we'll face them off in the Super Bowl. It'd be fun. Yeah. That'd be crazy.
Yeah, shout out to Mahomes. I guess he disappeared. Where's Patrick at? Mahomes.
Dude, that would be an incredible Super Bowl.
Ooh, Mahomes versus Brady?
No, man.
Oh, I didn't know what you was about.
Steelers versus Tampa Bay.
That would be dope.
Actually,
in Tampa?
Yeah. Well, I don't even. That's going to be my prediction. Let's just be real.
We figured as much.
So, I mean, I'll try to get some storylines and narratives wrapped around it whenever we do make our final predictions. But let's just be real.
We already know how you roll, Deke. And I know they're going to ask you who you have winning, so it's all good. We're good. Trust me.
Yeah. Good podcast.
Yeah,
got it wrapped up here.
Fun, man. I'm glad we got to talk a little, AB to Brady.
I mean, if they're talking about it, you think it's gonna happen?
I don't know, because reports from Tampa were that Arians didn't want him, but then obviously
that is kind of the buffer there, huh?
Yeah, and then obviously Arians and AB have clashed a little bit. You saw when AB was going on his rants about the people he was talking bad about. Arians was one of those guys. So I mean that is the biggest issue. I mean, you already know Brady would love to have him, and obviously AB would love to be back with Brady. And I think if AB were to go to anywhere, that makes the most sense. But the issue is the whole Arians element.
Well, yeah, and just how long can he play until he can play?
Well, and the thing, I mean, shoot, even if he's sitting out for 7-8 weeks, you still would have him for the last however many long in the playoff run. That's still worth it.
Yeah.
But the flip side is, does Arians want to bring that into the locker room? And it's different because in Pittsburgh, you can say that it's a need. AB would come here and be, hey man, we need that because we don't have anybody right now, right? We're hoping Juju turns into this, but Juju's a lightning rod in terms of what you view him as. Whereas in Tampa, you saying, well, we got 2,000 receivers. We good.
I feel like that's why it makes the most sense, though.
No, but this is what I'm saying. The reason why it doesn't make the most sense is because why bring in somebody that could potentially destroy your team, right? And
because you could just release him and it wouldn't hurt you.
When would you release him? After he's already done the damage, though, right? So then it's too late.
What damage would he be doing? That,
well, we said the same thing in Pittsburgh,
that
right?
hurts the team as a whole?
The chemistry as a whole?
I mean,
so now chemistry doesn't matter.
Yeah, but what would he be doing to where it wrecks everyone's chemistry?
Oh, that's crazy. What did he do in Oakland that wrecked everybody's chemistry? What did he do in Pittsburgh that wrecked chemistry? What did he do anywhere? No.
Dude, he respects Brady, though. I don't think that would happen.
He respects him so much that instead of just sitting there and not saying anything, he decided to shoot text messages to the young boy.
That was outside the locker room, though.
But you just said he respects him so much, though.
Yeah, I guess I'm just talking inside the locker room. What he does outside of it, though, I mean...
But doesn't that still have an effect?
That wasn't the wisest move.
But doesn't that still have an effect on the team, though?
You do?
You don't think it does?
I don't know. I'm asking.
I think it does.
Okay.
Yeah. That's why I'm asking you. You don't think it does? Like, please tell me why. I
don't know. I just don't know because it wasn't really related to football.
You said outside the locker room, though.
Huh?
You said outside the locker room. So if
that's what I mean.
We're going on his rants, right? Hey, man, I need the ball more. I don't really care about this and that. That's still outside the locker room. That doesn't have an effect.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. He didn't do that up in New England. He didn't talk about football in his rants.
I'm just simply saying it would have an effect because you know what happens, right? He says whatever he wants to say outside the locker room, but you know who brings in the locker room? The media guy. When he goes to Mike Evans and Chris Godwin and all these other guys, hey, what do you think about this? What about that? What did he say here? And now you're spending 20 minutes answering questions about him. And it sucks.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Understood. Man, yeah, we'll see what happens. Looking like an exciting football season coming up.
If there is one.
Ah, come on, dude. Mid-May for NBA. Mark Cuban.
Hey, all right.
He's talking mid-May, so I'm feeling good about that. The weather's getting too nice, man. This thing's going to die out. What? I'm hearing good numbers, too. I don't know what you're hearing either.
Whatever you say, man. You hear whatever you want to hear. I already realized that.
Yep.
At least you're consistent.
because the people that are saying bad numbers, they're overreacting.
Yeah.
But the good numbers, yeah, see, this is more like it.
Oh, boy. You're funny. I like it, though.
Yep.
So you got anything else you got to get off your chest? You good, man?
I'm good, dude. All
right. Well, I'm good as well, man. So, as always, we appreciate all the listeners. Appreciate all the viewers.
We cooking.
And until next time.
Peace.